Ah, no. I think the button was right. I think that there's something happening with the internet connection these days. Don't know if it's the weather or if it's something else. It's just very, very, very flaky. We tried. We were recording some interviews the previous couple of days, and today I think we got one. I don't remember. I don't remember. But we had a lot of issues with internet. So I hope this goes down well. But otherwise, um, we move to cable, and we'll hope for the best. Um, there we go. Yeah. I think one of the comments I think was Jevin saying I know any of you played Baldur's Gate 3 recently, or one of the millions of players who actually downloaded the game in the last week. It's been amazing. It's been really amazing. The number of players, the reactions, I read this comment on Twitter. The head of the CEO of Larian Studios said they were expecting a peak of a maximum of 100,000 players concurrently on the game. In the end, they had something like 800,000 plus. So pretty impressive, and congratulations to the guys at Larian for making such a great game, such an interesting case history for the whole of video games industry. I think has a lot to learn from what happened there with BG3. It's eating your life currently. I think it's eating a lot of people's life, and I think it for the good reasons. It's really something that I honestly wasn't expecting. It's very hard to, come back after all these years and make a game that's so successful. I don't see many instances of that in the history of our industry. We are full of sequels that come out after like 2 years, 3 years that are super successful, and they bring on the legacy of a game, of a franchise. But in this case, after so long, capturing this the essence of a game and bring it to modern age, I think it was an incredible achievement. But enough said about somebody else's games, but it's good to talk about gaming anyway. After this, we'll have Eric Routines playing some Distant Worlds 2 and announcing some pretty cool stuff. We've got 2 main things to announce, and you've probably seen it on the website, but just sort of make a little bit of a summary of what's happened. We will have 2 launches from now and early September. There will be an update for Distant Worlds called Discovery Update, which will include a ton of things. It's called Discovery, which is very, very generic in a way, compared to the previous ones, because it's got like a lot of different things. It's there's functional stuff, there's new features, there's a lot of different things that's will be added with this update. So we're calling it Discovery to cover all that. And then on the 7th of September, we'll have a release of the new faction DLC. This is the key art for the game. For DLC, it will include 2 factions, the Quaminos and the Gizurians. Very interesting. Again, what we're trying to do is sort of mix 2 factions that are really, different characteristics, very different. So you're able to play with different play styles. If you buy it, you can... What's happening? I'm almost playing Starship Troopers here, and I don't know. That's weird. And we're also going to announce today. Eric is going to showcase some of the changes on the update, and also give you a sneak peek of the faction DLC. That's going to be the Discovery update will release on the 22nd of August. Right, so I have some news about Filigree Kingdoms. Who wants to know about Filigree Kingdoms? We've got the game is in full beta. We're getting so much feedback; it's incredible. But we're sort of in parallel with the beta, which is like very closed, and we got like internal discussions on stuff on the Discord channel and such. And by the way, join the Discords of the games you like, because it's the best way to kind of know what's happening there. So Field of Glory, we've just published a new devlog on Kingdoms, so make sure you check that out. It's a devlog basically covering dynasties and the idea of how dynasties work in a game. And there's been a lot of questions about that. How do you compare the dynasties on Field of Glory Kingdoms compared to CK3, and how that is how they come into play, and how they change the game experience. One of the most relevant questions. I'm going to read this out because that we had a lot of questions after we published the devlog, and one of the recurring ones was how does dynasties work compared to CK3, and I think there's an interesting answer here from Pocus, which I will read out. What he says basically that dynasties cannot simply die out. So basically, if you're conquered and then you lose lots of legacy points, but you still play as the dynasty you were playing. So if you're playing as the Aragons and you're conquered by the Moors, you'll still be continue playing as the Aragons. I think it's one of the things that people were asking, after they got to read the devlog. A lot of questions make sense, and it's what we want to. It's a bit like Empires. If you look at Empires, the game went on with lots. There were lots of ups and downs in the experience of playing the game. It was not only about conquering and expanding and everything. There was lots of ups and downs in that, and I think that's reflected into Kingdoms as well through this new system that it features. Any news you can share with us about the Field of Glory 2 series? Any DLC to be announced in the near future? Duty calls? Not really. There's no planned new DLC for Field of Glory 2. We're actually thinking that the Field of Glory 2, as in Field of Glory 2 Ancients and Medieval, are kind of finished in a way, in a sense that we're not planning to do any new DLC for these games. Richard Bodley Scott is working on something new that we haven't announced yet, and we'll share more news when we have, materials to show. It's not near future, but it's definitely something in the Field of Glory realm, and but in a different kind of experience. So we'll let you know more about that, and we'll keep you posted. Field of Glory 2, Field of Glory Napoleonic. I have this question kind of all the time. We're not looking at Field of Glory Napoleonic, Major Alvega, because Napoleonic games are, if you think that Field of Glory Ancients sold 100 copies, Field of Glory Medieval sold, about a third of that or 2/3 of that, because that's, the popularity of the setting. And if you go down to sort of smaller niche settings, you just like cut your audience down in, big chunks. So ultimately what's happening is that you've got a lot of people interested in Napoleonic, but they're not enough to justify the development of a game. So in general, you've got like World War II, like big topic, everybody loves it, biggest franchise in gaming history. Then you've got Ancients, very popular. Then after that, you've got American Civil War, which is very local but very popular. And after that, you just go down and down and down. You've got sort of smaller size of the same audience. So that's why we're looking at Field of Glory for in different perspective. You'll see what we're talking about. On Field of Glory Kingdoms as well, we have a new insider article on our website. This includes an interview to Ivan Caceres, who's the 2D artist in the game, the principal artist of the game. and you'll see a lot of interesting, insights on how he created the art for Field of Glory, and he's one of the most amazing artists. Being working on board games and video games for a billion years, and he's also he's got a lot of interesting stories to tell about his job. So check it out. It's on the Slitherine site. You go on the insider. On the insider section, there's a lot of different articles about all sorts of different things about making games and how we do them. And Mickey is very hot. He's like, there's no air conditioning down here. I'm actually fine, but it can be a bit hot down here. And thank you, Hetzer, for copying the link here. Very kind of you. So, yeah, I think Ivan is a good example of an artist that I'm really proud and excited to work with. He's really, really good, and he's made a picture of myself with hair, with hair. He's painted it. It's somewhere in somebody hard drive. I don't know where it is. Okay. What else next? Oh yes, we have another fantasy drawing. You never had hair. I did. I started losing my hair. I was like 16 or 17, and that was bad when I was 16. I was like, oh, what's gonna happen to me? And then I found the luxury of not having to go to the hairdresser and having my hair dry in no time. The pain of hair loss. Edmond, you're joking me again? Again? Well, a lot of patience I have to have. Also updates about Master of Magic. Rise of the Soul Trapped is approaching. Guys, this is releasing on the 28th. This is the first DLC for the game. We've got 4 new wizards coming. I think we've announced, we got 3 new wizards coming. 2 of them we've already announced. We've already announced also the new faction that we are listing, the Soul Trapped, and new heroes as well. That's something we are drip feeding whilst we approach release of the game on the 28th of August. A bit of a different type of DLC this time. We have been thinking about how to sort of refresh a bit the experience as well. I mean, when you do DLCs, it's always hard to sort of come up with different ideas that are, just giving something new to the gameplay experience. And that's why, the guys at Muha Games have decided to sort of come up with this idea of adding the tech magic, which has been controversial. And I like it. I like it that it is controversial because it means that people are, interested in knowing the future of the game and experiencing more. So we'll see what happens with this one. But I'm pretty certain it will add a new layer of players to the game and new life as well to the game experience. And lots of new updates coming at the same time for the main game. Of course, yes. Well, there's usually that's happening all the time, but when we release a DLC, there's usually a lot of new stuff coming out for new features or updates and stuff that coming with the main game. Hello, gamer. Workshop. See, stuff I don't even know. Some stuff that I don't know about. No, I'm just joking. Yes, we have Steam Workshop coming out for Master of Magic. I don't know if I was allowed to say that. We were allowed to say that before it was officially announced, but I really don't care. And well, thanks for bringing it up. I'm pretty sure that we'll make a separate announcement for that. But that's fine. No, don't worry, Pookie. It's fine. We're good. We're family. We're the earlier the better people know about stuff. So don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure there was a cunning strategy to delay announcements, and I wasn't aware. You weren't aware. We're all good. We're all good. Mark. Ah, that's Mark. Whose account is that? Anyway, yes, I have another one. Other updates for you. Strategic Command is coming out with an update and a DLC as well. I think we've already announced this, but we've also announced officially the different campaigns you're going to be playing in the new Strategic Command World War I DLC called Empires in Turmoil. I wish I could participate in the meetings when they come up with the titles for these DLCs. I'm happy I don't have to participate, to be honest, because it's always hard to come up. You know, don't underestimate the difficulties of coming up with titles for games. It's such a difficult thing, especially for DLCs. For, you know, we had I can't tell you about it. I was going to say something I can't tell you, but yes. So the last DLC was sounding like a cocktail. This one is I don't know. It sounds like a book, I'd say. But yeah, so the DLC will cover a lot of period conflicts that are revolving around World War I. So you'll be able to play the First and Second Balkan Wars. Then we'll have the World War I German East Africa campaign, which is not included in the main game, and then the Russian Civil War, of course. That's something that we were pretty adamant to add at some point, and I'm very happy that the guys have managed to do so in this DLC. I think that you know what we keep saying about DLCs for Strategic Command is that, you know, these games were never intended to have DLCs. You know, they come out as you know as experiences that, you know, can be, you know, played start to finish. It's not like a storytelling thing that, you know, they progress the stories or anything, but you know, after we launched the first one, we've seen that it was very, very successful, and people loved it. People liked the idea of playing more of the same, but in different types of conflicts. And you know, the first one was about American Civil War, and we, you know, dig into, you know, all sorts of very weird Central and South American conflicts. And so I'm pretty curious to see how this World War I goes, because again, it's stuff you can't really play otherwise. You know, there's no game. I'm not aware of any game where you can play the First or Second Balkan War, or well, there's more about Russian Civil War. Admittedly, there's stuff. There's an Egypt game as well. But yeah, it's sort of conflicts that you very seldom get to play. So I'm very happy that we managed to do that. 80 hours of Yogdog streaming activate. Yeah, I mean, we also do this as a service to Yogdog, because he's run out of stuff to play on Strategic Command. He's playing Strategic Command every day for 2 hours. It's like a doctor's thing. He went to doctor, and the doctor said you have to play Strategic Command 2 hours a day for the next 6 months, and we're giving him the product, because otherwise he's going to run out of stuff. Yes, Praetorian. These are going to be in the expansion, releasing later this year. The expansion is called Empires in Turmoil. Where can I find this doctor? Not in Norway, Edmund. They've got these doctors in England, and I think it's in the UK and Germany, mainly. Considering the percentage of sales, that's what I would say. But there are increasing number of doctors prescribing war games to get better. The big news of today, we have announced a new DLC for Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector. The Demons of Khorne are going to be available as a playable faction from the 24th of August. So it's in 2 weeks. Imagine that, you know, you get something you announced, and you only have to wait 2 weeks to get to play this. Thank you, Miki, for capturing these screenshots. This has been a last-minute job, and I think you've done a great job. And the game is great, but the screenshots are actually fantastic. Any BA news? Is that Battle Academy or Broken Arrow? I think it's Broken Arrow. Troxy. We don't have any more news, but we're working on a video that will blow your socks away. And I've seen the video probably a week ago now, and it's really something. So get ready for that. Before the end of the month, we'll get a new video showing some pretty amazing and cool stuff. So get ready for that. Yes, so the demons, I was saying. Demons are coming out on the 24th. You know that you can already play against the demons in one of the game modes, the Demonic Incursion. This faction will allow you to play demons within all the modes, game modes. So skirmish. There's a new map as well you can play on. And we've also added one new special unit. It's the Demon Prince. I'm going to list all the demon units who are included because I like pronouncing these fantastic names. And again, you know, imagine being in a meeting, a room at Games Workshop when I have to come up with the names of these units. I just want to be like a fly and be there and check out what the process is. Anyway, the units we'll have included in this DLC are the Bloodthirster, the Bloodletters, Blood Crushers, Skull Cannon, Soul Grinder, Bloodmaster, and Flesh Wounds. Is that right? Yeah, Flesh Hounds. Sorry. And so yes, so this is for Battlesector. One thing to note: Battlesector had already orcs added this year. We're adding demons now. We got big plans for expanding the game as well. But I would like you to please join the Discord and let us know what you want for the future, because we're seriously looking at creatively, you know, what the game needs to not only improve as a game, but, you know, in terms of content, what is missing, what you guys want, not only in terms of, hey, we want this new faction and stuff. I think we want your help to find out what is it that we can do to bring new life to the game as well. I mean, the game is doing fantastic, and we're very happy with, you know, where it's going. But I think that it's an enormous potential there, and so please help us understand, you know, where to go next. And we'd love to have a chat with you about that. Any news about Kingdom's release? I was playing Rome Total War, but Empire is much better. Thank you, Chicho. When it's releasing, Filigree Kingdoms is possibly releasing around end of Q1, beginning of Q2 next year. That's my best guess. So we'll run a further round of beta tests. So we were expanding the beta testers around October, November this year. And then we'll have this run of extra beta, and then the game will be ready to release. So that's, I think, my best realistic guess is end of Q1, beginning of Q2 next year. So it's a lot of time, but we are, I think, ultimately, we're pretty bullish about this game and how it can compete with some bigger, you know, productions, I would say, that are out there. Yeah, thanks, Neil. Yeah, I have 2 screenshots to comment on Kingdoms. Wait. What am I reading there? Macbeth, the King of Scotland. the Red King. Right, so let me read here. This is the famous Ian McNeill that we got, right? Is that right? That's the King of Scotland in the game is Mr. Ian McNeill, a name that was generated automatically by from a database of around 5,000 entries, and it came out like this. Who knows why? No, I think that, if you look at this, I think it's, joking aside, I think we're really trying to do a lot of work in terms of UI and, accessibility. So there's a lot of work has been made to make sure that these screens, these windows are, really, well executed. And, we know that these games that are, very much about the UI and, clicking here and, making sure you've got everything under control and everything else are all about UX and UI. So the development team here has spent a lot of time studying and trying to simplify things, but also trying to make things more readable. And then there's another one, English monarchy. Yes, so this is one of our beta testers that did quite a good job of expanding the Pinky English monarchy to a new areas of the world. I think that as I was saying, the game goes like, up and down in terms of your dynasty and how it lasts over time. And when you get to the point where you can really see that the results of your game are paying off, it's really satisfying. I think that this is I don't know why we're focusing too much on England and Scotland. I want a bit of the map that's more about Italy next time. But yeah, you can see here there's a lot of, you can see it from the minimap down there. There's a lot of ground to cover when you play the game, and a lot of people, enemies, and factions to be aware of. By the way, if you want to try and be in the next beta, just go to slitherine.com/beta, and we'll try and accommodate any of you that are following us on Twitch. Italy, real chaos at that time. Oh, Bob, my goodness, absolutely yes. Well, if you kind of like, chaos in the sense of everyone on his own, that's definitely the case. Yeah, it was definitely a passing phase of our history. That's for sure. Is there any development going on for Battle Academy 3? Do you know anything, Duty Calls? Do you know stuff? There is actually, slow but steady, and there is stuff happening on Battle Academy 3. There will be stuff announced. I don't know how soon, but there's definitely stuff happening on that. Like Ferrari? You mean the real chaos? It's like Ferrari? I can make you a very long list of examples of real Italian chaos that don't include Ferrari. Ferrari is like a best case for us. It's a while we don't have news about Scramble. Scramble is an interesting one. Or actually, I was actually looking at the comms plan for Scramble about an hour ago. So it's good that it's interesting that you asked that question. Probably announcing stuff on Scramble not very far from now. Probably give it 6-8 weeks. That's around October. We'll do some proper announcement on Scramble. No, I don't have to scramble to say something. I have Edmund is very annoying, but I love him for that. Is my buddy. But he doesn't bring any more Norwegian Christmas cake. And the last time I asked him, he said, "I can't because it's summer. There's no Christmas cake in summer." But the last time he came over, I think it was May or something, he brought some over. So he's lying to me, specifically lying to me. Are you not lying to me, Mr. Edmund? Prince of Foxes, great movie on Italy in the 15. Oh, absolutely. I love that movie. I shall give you an idea of the stream schedule to see what you have to expect. There's some interesting stuff for the stream schedule these days. So after this, I said to Eric I was going to be late, and I am late. But and I see that there's a lot of people now waiting for the Distant Worlds stream, so I'll be fast now. Sorry, Eric, for this. So on tomorrow at 6 p.m. we have Distant Worlds 2 with Richard York. And at 8 p.m. we have Sergeant Z-Dog playing Starship Troopers. After that, the amazing gamer playing Panzer Corps Axis Operation 45. On Monday, we have at 4:15, for Matrix Monday, we have at 4:15 Shadow Empire Oceania, Richard York. At 6:15 we have Hexabu playing Rule the Waves 3, and at the Gamer again playing at 8:15 playing Combat Mission Red Thunder. And on Wednesday next week we have the amazing, wonderful, sexy, credible, awesome Edmund doing What's Your Mod, and we have a special What's Your Mod, which is with Distant Worlds 2, with a Warhammer 40k mod. Just to be sure, this is not an official thing. It's a mod that we're just grabbing from the website, and it's pretty cool. So Edmund decided to play it, and if he thinks it's good, then it's probably very good. What did you say? Distant Worlds 1. Oh, am I useless? Super cool. Distant Worlds 1. Sorry. I'm sorry, Edmund. Beers on me next time. Next week, I'll be doing tea time from abroad. Hopefully cooking something for you. And the week after, I'm doing tea time from Gamescom in Köln, Germany, for the wonderful gaming event of the year. And I'll be back in normal tea time from this amazing, wonderful place on the 20-something. It's probably going to be September already, or not? 31st of August. So, but yeah, you know, come back on online for tea time next week, Thursday. We'll show you all some new stuff, and we've got announcements next week as well. So stick with us. And in the meantime, if you didn't watch it, go watch Oppenheimer, Barbie, or any of the wonderful summer movies, and go back and play Baldur's Gate 3. Why not? I will see you next week. Bye.
The attraction towards new experiences is powerful. Alienware gear isn't made to resist that pull. It's made to accelerate it, to transport you to new places where you can embrace difference and leave familiar behind, bringing you ever closer to the ultimate experience. See you on the other side.